Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Melo, Gruff Lion,
T-Buggy, man.
just the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Oh, what's good, bro?
Yeah, bro, draft day. You know what it is.
Draft, hey man, live reactions to the NBA draft, man. It's cooking up, man. You know I'm hyped. My Wiz took my preferred pick at number 1. I got the draft on to the left, so you see me looking over. I'm just seeing who's coming next. Oh, Braden Berry's number 10. I like that. Hey, look, we finally getting to the point of the draft where we're gonna see some surprises. I think the first real shock, to me at least, came number 9 with Morez Johnson going to the Mavericks. But I like the pick though. I like the pick. Like I feel like Cooper Flag need a little muscle in there. Just got rid of AD, right? I like the Morez Johnson pick. I was hoping that my Wiz might be able to make a little deal to move up in the late lottery to grab somebody like that. So I really like that pick a lot. I thought he was a key cog to the Michigan run.
Yeah, I had a feeling that they was going to try to grab somebody from Michigan. I was thinking they was going to pick either him or Yaxel Lendenborg, I believe his name is. But both of them dogs. So I feel like he going to go. Yaxel going, if he not off the board here at 11, I'll probably say he going to 12. Because he could play some winning basketball. You feel me? A team like the Thunder could jump in right, add him to that rotation immediately. They just traded off Aaron Wiggins, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. A team that gets Yax will definitely try and win now, especially when we talk about a bit of an older prospect. I think he's coming into the league at the age 22. So he's not, one of these guys that's looking to need an extended amount of time to develop. But, man, hey, we can't talk draft without talking the top. And, man, that first 4 seems like it's been written in stone for the past few months. But just looking at how the first 4 played out, I got to thinking, like, where do these prospects rank amongst prospects over the last few years? Really just the last 2 years. Like last year's draft compared to this year's draft. Personally, I feel like the top 3 of this year's draft all would have went number 1 over Cooper Flag last year. At least I would have had them all on my big board over Cooper Flag last year.
We looking at just this year and last year?
Yeah, like I wonder where you rank them because like last year it went 1, Cooper Flag. What was VJ Edgecombe was 3, right? Who was 2?
Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, right. So it went Flag, Harper, Edgecombe, and then this year we had DeBonsa, Peterson, Boozer. I wonder how people are going to rank those guys. Like if you just compare those past 2 draft classes. Because personally,
that's a tough one. I mean,
personally, I'm going these 3 guys and then those 3 guys straight up, bro. Like, because I'm real high.
I don't know, bro. Cooper Flag. I don't know, bro. I still have some questions about AJ DeBonsa. I have more questions than answers. I feel like he got a lot of game. Cooper Flag, I think, could have been number 1 pick in that draft. I feel like you put them all on the board. People saying Cooper reclassified on purpose, and maybe he was ducking smoke, or maybe he was being strategic. You feel me? Because he went in there a year early. He got a heads up on him. But I still would take Cooper Flag number 1 probably. But it's tough, man, because to me, Darren Peterson is my number 1 in this draft. So I wouldn't have even picked AJ DeBonsa number 1. To me, I would pick AJ DeBonsa probably like if it was me, I'll go Cooper, Darren Peterson, and then 3rd I'll go AJ DeBonsa, and then I go Dylan Harper number 4.
Yeah, see me, I see where you're getting at with that. I feel like if they was straight out of high school, yeah, if they was coming straight out of high school, bro, I probably would have took Darren Peterson first. Because coming out of high school, I thought he was about to be the truth, man. But that Kansas year, I can't unsee it. If I was ranking these players from these 2 drafts, I'd go DeBonsa 1, Boozer 2, Peterson 3, Flag 4, Harper than Edgecombe. And I think I'm way higher on Boozer than everybody else still. But yeah, bro, I think this draft right here about to be that G word, man. It's about to be that G word generation.
No, actually though.
I know what it is. Generational.
Yeah, actually generational for real.
They hate when I use that word, man. But I don't be messing with my generational takes.
It's got a chance to be though, because them top 4 picks, man, they solid. They solid as you can get, bro. Like I feel like any given year, there's been years where number 1 pick wasn't as good as those top 4 guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think people really gonna look back at this draft and they're gonna look at Caleb Wilson and they're gonna say, well, how did this kid last to the 4th pick? You know what I mean? So I mean, I respect the pick with the Wizards picking Devonta. I feel like it was the right move. They had to do it, but I always like, I think hindsight is always 2020 when it comes to these drafts. You know what I'm saying? Markelle Fultz was the right move for the number 1 pick the year the Sixers got him. And then, you know what I'm saying, it ended up being that Jason Tatum was actually the best player in the draft. So, Danny Ainge was behind both of those moves. And he also behind this move here tonight because he part of that front office with the Jazz. So to me, Darren Peterson, we gonna look back in the end of this in 5 years, maybe 2, maybe sooner. We gonna look back and we gonna say, how did Darren Peterson not go number 1 in this draft? Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the Wizards had to do what they had to do. I feel like if they would have picked Peterson, maybe the draft room would have had a little bit of different conversation. AJ was the consensus number 1, but I can't really understand why, because when I saw them go head to head, I can't unsee what I saw. Every time I've seen Darren Peterson and AJ Debonsa on the same basketball court, AJ Debonsa has deferred to him, and he's been the lesser of the two. So I just don't understand how this man is not the number 1 pick. I respect the pick. You know what I'm saying? AJ 6'10", he slides right into the lineup for them. So, I think it's a good fit pick, but I think best overall, I think Darren Peterson's the best player in this draft.
No, I feel you. I really don't think you can go wrong personally with any of these top 3, especially. I'm a Caleb Wilson fan too, but the top 3 I feel like is super strong in this draft. When you start comparing them directly, well, let me talk about them as individuals first. When I look at AJ Debonsa, and when I think of what you need to do in NBA drafts, in drafts in general, right? I think you need to be drafting the talent, but you're also trying to project what they can become, right? And I think when you look at a guy like Debonsa, when you're talking about a 6'10" in shoes, untapped defensive potential, crazy potential on the offensive end, already has an advanced bag as far as understanding how to step through, how to gain space with his footwork. I mean, unbelievable footwork, bro. And a very advanced mid-range game, just kind of scratching the surface with his perimeter shooting. Like, I think when you look at the prospect and the ceiling, I feel like there really is no ceiling for AJ Debonsa, right? And he can be as good. Another thing about AJ Debonsa is the body control at that size is unreal. When you talk about a 6'10" prospect that has that much potential, that's hard to pass up on, man, because, like, end of the day, we're projecting 19-year-olds, right? And if I'm drafting a player, I don't want the best player for this season. I want the best player at 5 seasons from now. You know what I'm saying? And I really think, knowing what I know about the Michael Winger, Will Dawkins front office, I do not think you hit the head on that the Jackson Lindenborg pick. He going to Golden State, not OKC. But I think when I think about what I know about this front office, man, I definitely don't think it was a fit pick. I think they was going BPA all day, best player available, and to them, AJ Debonsa was the guy they coveted. And I can't be mad at him for that. When I look at Darren Peterson, though, man, I see a walking bucket, bro. Like, I see a guy who's like so fluid with his game, man. And probably the most advanced shot maker at the top of this draft, man. The biggest question I have is, like, and the reason I say I can't unsee the Kansas season is because, bro, coming out of high school, I looked at him as a very explosive athlete. And I did not see that same explosion in Kansas. Now, guys, athleticism doesn't just drop off a hill, going from 18 to 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just, like, you turn 28, 29, maybe you start to lose a step, but you don't typically lose a step, at 19. So I truly don't know what's totally behind it. I know there's a lot of, he's talked about the cramping and the creatine, but I don't know if creatine making you lose your bounce and your explosion. I don't know, bro. I don't know, but it's strange to me, and I think that's probably the thing that worries me the most about Darren Peterson as a prospect. But man, average a dub and only played like 22 minutes a game or something crazy. So you really can't take him away from him either.
Yeah, I mean, game is just crazy, bro. So he be having flashes. He be looking like Kobe, D Rose, one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He got that kind of game. But I'm saying I understand there was some concerns medically. I'm not a doctor, but I know I trust what my two eyes seen, and Darren Peterson definitely gonna be a problem out there in Utah for sure. They got one right there. But yeah, definitely probably my number one guy would be Peterson.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that. I'm expecting some trade to start happening around this time. I'm actually surprised that OKC is about to make this pick. I was sure that they was going to try to. I mean, OKC has so many young players on the back of their bench right now that can't touch the pine because they just still need to be developed. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know. I thought they would go more win now with these. Would start to go more win now with these draft assets, but it's like they stand pat.
Yeah, maybe they couldn't get in that top 10. The top 10 was very coveted this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, with Yaxel Lindenberg coming off the board at 11, you know what I mean? That's pretty good. Like every player drafted thus far, I think could make an impact year one for their team. And I would say OKC probably thinking the same thing with this pick. You know what I mean? They're gonna get somebody that could get in there. But the thing about OKC is, you don't get like that by just like you don't change the mentality. You know what I mean? Yeah, they winning now, but you keep them cupboards stocked. You know what I'm saying? You keep feeding that farm system, bro. You keep planting those seeds so you could keep watering their soil. You know what I mean? You gotta, good teams like draft in the head. Like they have heir apparents and stuff. Like crossing sports like the Eagles. Like you always got to have that left tackle in the waiting, rotation, a couple guys deep on your defensive line, but in the NBA is the same thing, you want to have that young talent building off your bench, have something organic there so that way you could keep replenishing it. And I feel like I'm always curious to see who OKC picks because when OKC picks them, it confirms what you might have thought about that player because that their front office really don't miss.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked at Cameron Carr right here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They just got rid of my boy Aaron Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? Clearing a little space there.
Best talent on the board, in my opinion. Nate Amen's still on the board. I feel like that's a high upside pick.
Shout out to Yaxel though, man. I like to see the older prospects going higher up in the draft, bro.
Yeah,
and that's a smart pick for for Golden State, bro. Because Golden State has run into this problem in the past where, like, if you look at like folks they drafted, like James Wiseman's or my man Jonathan Kuminga, right? Like they get these guys who need development time, but they don't have the time to let them develop because they're trying to win right now, right? They got to keep it pushing. So I feel like some really elite prospects fell into that Golden State system, which is kind of a gift and a curse. Like the gift is you about to win now, but the curse is you don't got no time to develop. So Yaxel Lindenberg seems like a player who can kind of come in and hit the ground running. So I don't expect him to need much development time, especially coming off of Natty.
Definitely. I mean, you can see that he contributes to winning. And dude hungry, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He came up from nothing, basically. You know what I mean? Shout out Lindenberg. He's from Jersey, actually. Pennsauken, New Jersey. Apparently, he didn't even play on the high school team. Something like that. He didn't have good enough grades or something like that. But yeah, this draft pretty good, man. The top four, crazy good. But definitely still some good talent on the board, bro.
Definitely interested to see what OKC takes. Still, I wonder if they trade that next pick, right? Well, they got like 17 too, right? Are they not taking 2 first rounders this year, bro? Book it. They're not taking 2 first rounders. They going to win now. If they pick here, they trying to go win now with that next pick.
And this 13th pick is also kind of, this Bucks got the 13th pick through that Miami trade. So,
which was insane, bro.
They're going to have to nail that pick too.
Yeah, Bucks definitely going to have to nail that pick, getting rid of Giannis. Wasn't Giannis drafted around the 13th?
Something like that.
Shit, maybe history repeats itself for the lower.
It might have been 10.
Lower lottery pick.
Yeah, you could get somebody right here, bro. Devin Booker was picked somewhere around 12, 13, something like that.
Great pick, Thunder. Oh, that's a great pick. Dave Mara goes to the Thunder, man. Great pick, bro. Hey, listen, they went back-to-back Michigans just now. Back-to-back Wolverines. I cannot be mad at that. And Dave Mara, every time I watched him in the tournament, I was like, bro, this dude is a dog, bro. 7'4", 7'3", 7'4", but can move.
This was
hell of a pick. Hell of a
My
pick.
game just came through. Okay, Mara. That's a. You add some size to that front line. You know what I mean? Your boy Chet Holmgren was out there getting punked. You feel me? And looking like this is a Wembanyama a stopper. You know what I'm saying? They just had a little bit of an issue with Wemby down low last in the last series. Now you got some extra you know what I'm saying, bodies, a big body to throw in there that ain't gonna get bullied like Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, like, the thing that New York really exposed about Victor Wembanyama and his style of defense is that if you can stretch him out on defense, right, and have all players that can shoot on the perimeter, that's going to be a problem for Wemby because he's not going to be able to track out that far to the three-point line and secure the paint at the same time, bro. And that's where he got into trouble against the Knicks. And a Dave Mara, although Chet could shoot, Chet really wasn't swapping them things in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, he was a little timid to shoot it from outside. Dave Mara is a certified shooter at 7'4", bro. He can shoot the rock. Dave Mara actually low-key kind of reminds me, and I don't want to give him too much credit yet, but he reminds me of Pau Gasol a little bit, bro. The way he moves.
That's a good count. I like that.
But the outside shooting, I think, is like when you're 7'4" and can shoot from the outside, you're tailor-made to play against Wembanyama.
Yeah. This is a great pick. Add another tool to the toolbox, man. They got a good squad. OKC gonna be, you know what I mean? They're gonna be around.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, yeah, like they literally need to be drafting to counter Victor Wembanyama from here on out. Like that's their arch nemesis at this point. Every pick they make,
gonna be around. Yeah, he's gonna be around for the next decade.
Yeah, like every pick they make, everything they do is gonna be trying to counteract Victor Wembanyama. That's what their whole shit is about now, bro.
See, this is the change. The game is changing, and this is what happens with the good game over time. Centers was falling out of favor. You know what I mean? But these centers that can do shit like this, you know what I mean? And now you got to start planning and having somebody for Victor Wembanyama, and now all of a sudden centers is coming back.
Yeah.
People gonna start drafting
because the Mavericks just hired Dusty May away from the Michigan Wolverines to come in and coach Cooper Flagg, and he had his pick of his three Michigan guys, and he went Morris Johnson over Mara and Axel Lindenborg.
Yeah, but I wonder if he's going to regret that because at the end of the day, he is a coach and not a GM. Who you think gonna be the best out of the three though? Out of the three Michigan, since you brought that up, which out of the three Michigan dudes, who you think gonna be the best in the league?
Oh, I think Morris Johnson's gonna be the best out of those three Michigan dudes. That's why I think it's interesting. I think he was the most unheralded out of those three, I would say. But I do think he's like, bruh, he was a monster, bro. Like he was tough as hell. He could rebound the ball, he could dunk on you, and he could stretch the floor. Like, I don't know, he's like tailor-made big man right now. He's like what you want in a big right now in the league, bro. Like he can play the 5, he can play the 4, he can protect the rim. Like he's tough. I mean, he's bruh, he's gonna be a dog, and I feel like pairing him with Cooper Flag is a perfect pair, bruh. Because Cooper don't got to do no dirty work with Morris Johnson in there. Morris got all the dirty work covered, bro.
Yeah, that was a good pick.
But it's interesting because like Dusty May no one knew those Michigan guys better than him, and he chose Morris Johnson out of the 3 players he could have chosen for Michigan.
Yeah, that's tough. No, I respect that. I don't know. I think pre-draft, I would have said Lindenborg for me would have been. I think he's going to end up being the best pro. But the fact that Mara went to OKC that make me feel like, like I said, OKC get him and put him in their system and develop him, because it's one thing to draft somebody, it's another thing to develop. And OKC does develop a team very well, whereas Yax will end up in a situation in Golden State where traditionally we haven't seen Steve Kerr develop his rookies ever. We haven't seen that happen.
I feel you. I do kind of feel like the OKC develops is a little overrated though, bro. Maybe it's just me.
They don't develop anybody.
OKC?
No, OKC? You talking about okay?
Yeah, I feel like the OKC as a developmental program is a bit overrated, bro.
You think it's overrated?
Yeah, bro. Think about their players, bro. Think about like they starting 5. 2 of them was drafted by them?
Yeah, but
Jalen got hurt, so I was talking about the starting 5 they ended with because Jalen got hurt. But
J Dubs.
Well, yeah, it's just Jalen, and Chet. Everybody else they brought in.
Yeah, but they developed. They turned. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? We look back at that Paul George trade. Paul George and for SGA and picks. They turned SGA into they helped get him to that level. He wasn't playing at that level. The Thunder developed him.
I feel like the Thunder better learn from the Warriors, bro. Like I mentioned with the Warriors earlier, they start getting these picks, high picks, when you're a team that's trying to win now, and it's not no time for guys to develop. It might be in the Thunder's best interest to start flipping some of that draft capital. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, we shall see. He got the next pick, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, Bucks via Heat, but Bucks got to hit on this jump. Now, this could be the landing spot for Nate Ament.
He should have went to them. He was being talked about getting picked with them for the 10th pick, so I feel like they got to get him on the 13th.
Yeah, this would be a good landing spot for him. I'm trying to think who else I could see the Bucks taking. I wouldn't mind Cam Carr right here for the Bucks. Bucks is a team right now where whoever they bring in is going to have runway to develop, man. So Nate Ament or Carr, I feel like the perfect situation for both of those guys.
Yeah, I think that I agree.
And don't sleep on my man Kareem Lopez, man.
Who?
My boy out of Mexico right now, Kareem Lopez. Don't sleep on him going to the Bucks right here.
I'm not too familiar with his gang.
Oh yeah, hey, Kareem Lopez, nice, bro. He nice, dog. Mexican Paolo. Not quite as physical, a little more finesse than Paolo Banchero, but he gives me those kind of vibes. Played overseas in New Zealand. And shout out to the Big O, man. Oscar Robertson. The best players of all time. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like if you're the Bucks right now, you need to go super duper developmental prospect, similar to what you did when you got Giannis. Like, don't be afraid to go with the prospect that's going to take a few years, because like you just reset your timeline, and you're probably going to be in the purgatory for a few years anyway.
Yeah, that's why I feel like they should go with Nate Ament, pair him up with Burries, and I'm assuming they keeping Tyler Hero. He's starting to round out a decent little team over there.
I like it.
Yeah, the pick is in. It's Nate Ament.
Yeah, I like it. I like that they went developmental, bro. I think Nate Ament's got some goods, man. The only thing that I've ever questioned about him is I'm trying to use the right words. I don't want it to come off disrespectful, bro. But I wonder about toughness is the word I'll use. All right. I wonder how aggressiveness and toughness is the only thing I wonder about. Maybe I just need to watch a little more Nate Ament, but I've seen him a decent amount of times this season. You know, I think he's a young guy that's got a lot in front of him though. He might be one of those guys too who's you know how they say the growth plates aren't closed yet. It wouldn't shock me if Nate Ament ends up being like 6'11" pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a pup. I ain't a puppy. This kid's a puppy. But yeah, he's like 6'10"?
Yeah.
I think he's got like a 7-foot wingspan. Definitely looking like he could be Ben Simmons' brother.
Shout out to Nate Ament, man. That's a good pick. It's a good Bucks walking away with a good drive, man. You leave with Berries and Ament, like shit.
Now you see the picks. Now you see the picks. How you feel about the now you looking at Giannis? We can now look at the Giannis trade in totality. You know what I mean? So like, how we feeling about that Giannis trade? Because basically what you got is Tyler Hero, Jamie Jaquez, Nate Ament, and Braxton Berries, right?
And Khalil Ware as well.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a lot of players though. It is a lot of players.
I mean, you got a 5. You got a 5 out of it. You got to start a 5 out of it if you want to start with them. You can roll that lineup out next season. Be like, this is the Giannis lineup right here. So
that's it. He got a whole starting 5. They got a starting 5.
And they got my man, little point guard that really emerged last season. I can see his face. The name's slipping me though.
Yeah, it's slipping my name too. I can't remember his name. Light skinned dude.
Yeah. He really emerged for them. I like him. I like what I mean.
Ryan Rollins.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins. People are always going to look back at this trade and be like, what you could have had, right? Like you could have had Jaylen Brown. But I think the fear for the Bucks is like, we get Jaylen Brown, then he rolls on us too, right? At least with this package they got guys that are now locked in to stand with them for the foreseeable future. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it one bit. They got another first rounder next year. If you're going to get rid of Giannis, a guy that don't want to be there no more, that's the way to do it, is to get young assets. So
yeah, I don't know, man. You know, 4 quarters, $4, and isn't, you know, it's the same amount of currency, but it's a lot of change that you got to carry, and then you know you got to put the change together. You know, it doesn't always equal $1. 4 quarters does not always equal $1.
Wait. What type of currency exchanges you going to?
I'm just saying because you know you got to carry the coins around, and you know who carries coins around these days. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point is with the Bucks trade is they basically traded $1 for 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what they do. You know,
I think it's like if Giannis didn't want to be there, what you gonna do though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like none of those players, respectfully, none of those players are going to be as good as Giannis. I guess what their approach is, they're trying to build a full team and roster. But like, yeah, agreed. They haven't really been hitting on their picks. You know, besides Giannis and this guy Ryan Rollins.
He wasn't a pick. Ryan Rollins was not a draft pick. He bounced around the league.
Okay, they got lucky.
In fact, he was on my Wizards for a second, and then had a shoplifting incident. We ended up letting him go. But it's gonna get interesting. It's gonna be real interesting for the Bucks, man, because you know they accelerated their rebuild with the Giannis trade, and we'll see. We'll see how quickly they can bounce back. See how quickly they can turn around.
Yeah, I mean,
shout out my nigga. Shout out my
that's got an interesting story.
I think it's Lamas. Lamas said he's locked in. Yes, sir. You gotta be. We all locked in the draft right now, man. We're gonna go. Our plan was to go for the lottery. We probably go a little past the lottery. See if we get any crazy shakeups, any crazy trades. I think we're now approaching the time in the draft where we're gonna start seeing a few shocking trades that no one really expected. I think this next probably 3 picks. Wouldn't shock me if we get a trade here, especially with that OKC at 17.
I mean, I feel like top half of the draft, we have some bona fide guys that could be like stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, the guys at the top, but then I think there were some guys in the late lottery that I feel like could turn into like all-star players as well. And then maybe there's some hidden gems on the board still. But I know for sure, I feel like there's a lot of role players when I look at the board that I feel like could find their way on a roster and make some noise. You know, a few people that stand out for me, Chris Sinak Jr. Out of Houston. I feel like he could be a rotational player right off the bat. Isaiah Evans from Duke. I feel like one of the more talented scorers in the draft. I feel like he's still got a lot of runway ahead of him. I don't really feel like he's hit his potential yet at all. I'm a Sixers fan, so I know guys that I was looking at, and these are guys that I was looking at. So Zuby E4 from St. John's.
Zuby Ejiofor, yeah.
Yeah, my man, NBA body, strong as hell, weight room. You know what I'm saying? Dude's muscling out there. You need somebody out there like that, sturdy. You feel me? Bucket pail kind of dude. You feel me? Going there, and I was watching them like when he was live here in DC, St. John's against Duke, and St. John's in actually the earlier rounds as well. And he was muscling up your boy Cam Boozer. So you know what I'm saying? He's still on the board. He could be a decent player that can make an impact. You was talking about Kareem Lopez. Tell me a little bit more about him. What you think about him? You think he could be a star? Because I think that name that they acting like he's like that.
Yeah, like I like Kareem Lopez, man. Like I said, like Paolo, but a little more finesse, a little less athletic ability. He's not quite the explosive athlete Paolo Banchero is, but he's kind of got some of that to his game. A little bit of Rui Hachimura game, you know what I'm saying? A little more handle though. I think Kareem Lopez could be for the league.
They call him. They say comparisons to Aaron Gordon and Franz Wagner.
Yeah, something around there. Maybe not quite the athleticism of Gordon, but you know, Franz Wagner, I could see that. Good in the mid range, very good in the mid range, and around the rim has enough leap to dunk one on you. Hey, Hans Steinbeck, that's an interesting pick right there, man. This guy reminds me, and I hate comparing archetypes to archetypes when you just look at them, they look similar. But bro, kind of reminds me of my man Lauri Markkanen a little bit, bro.
Yeah,
he reminds me of Lauri Markkanen just a little bit, bro. And I ain't doing it. I really go out of my way to try to compare players to someone they look nothing like. So it's like you can't just say.
But it's like I don't even want to be like that. But it's like they do be having it be the vibes though. Like it be the same vibes, bro. And there's something to that though. It's literally vibrational levels, bro. Because it's like he got a lot of Lauri Markkanen. He looked like he could be more Lauri Markkanen cousin.
Bro, Hans Steinbeck is a dog. Like Hans Steinbeck is a dog, bro. For sure.
One thing stand out about him.
He going this low.
Great rebounder. 6'11", 220, averaging about almost 12 boards a game.
And you know what? He gives the Hornets a lot of flexibility now, man. Because like I feel like the Hornets are at kind of like a crossroads with their team right now, where outside of any young talent they add right in the draft, like they need, if they're really trying to win now, they need another bona fide guy, and it might take getting rid of like a Bridges or somebody to make that happen. I feel like bringing in Hans Steinbeck allows for that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Was it Chicago?
Yep.
Chicago, okay. Chicago ain't really been shit for about 10 years. I can't remember the last time Bulls was good was when D Rose was had working kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? It was a long time ago.
This is another team I'm surprised didn't try to package a pick and go more into a win now. It seemed like the Bulls felt like they had a lot more than what they did. I felt like the Bulls
heard they was making offers, but nobody really wanted what they was offering. That's what I was hearing. I heard they were trying to package the picks to move up. Like I heard there was actually an offer to the Wizards for and like Patrick Williams or some shit, and they're like, okay, how the fuck can we do that?
Yeah, that might be a Centel deal right there, man. Because I don't know how the hell.
No, but that's the them Jones be having. It don't be real, but it'd be floated. Like somebody somewhere talking about it. So it's like that's the type of shit. They just like, what do they really got? Like, what they offering? You know, unless they offering like Giddy or something, like you're not really biting on that. I feel like that's not one of that. You know, Bulls really holding a lot of good players hostage. They haven't really done shit with anybody forever. Like, you know, Kobe White is good, probably one of the best players that played for them in recent years. And I feel like, well, he on the Hornets now, right?
Yep.
Great pickup for the Hornets, and now he basically they 6-man. So pretty good. But yeah, I mean, Bulls got a chance to come out of here with two decent players. Maybe they go pick your boy Kareem Lopez right here.
That'd be a solid pick. That'd be a solid pick.
Kareem Lopez and Caleb Wilson. That's a pretty good. You know, you got the Mexican Paolo, and you got the 2026 Kevin Garnett.
I feel like they got to go. I feel like if they draft for. We're going to find out if they drafted for fit or if they drafted for potential. If they drafted for fit, Bulls need a guard, bro.
I feel like they got hella guards.
Do they?
Yeah, they got Josh Giddey. They had just picked up Dillingham. They got Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, Trey Jones.
Yeah. They need a guard, bro.
They got a lot of guards, but like none of them really that good. I guess
they need a guard, like a 2 guard. Cameron Carr right here would be a match made in heaven for the Bulls, bro.
Yeah, that would be a good pick.
Cam Carr should be the pick for the Bulls right here.
I think they should go with Kareem Lopez, man.
The guy you found out about 10
minutes ago. Yeah, shout out the first player to be drafted out of Mexico. You know what I mean?
Gotta respect it. Shout out to, Mexico. Viva la Mexico, man. Be there in a few weeks. Mexico.
Shout out to all my Mexican hoopers out there. It's been a long time coming.
You know, another player I'm keeping my eye on these next couple picks, man. Okay, I can see OKC taking this Allen Graves. And I can see them going back to that Santa Clara well. And that's where my boy Jalen Williams went, right? Santa Clara. Allen Graves from Santa Clara is a baller.
Haven't seen it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't see any Santa Clara. Didn't catch any Santa Clara games last season. So, but I can see 1% of his time.
I just caught his highlights, bro. I ain't catch no live games, but I like what I saw, man. Versatile player, bro. I feel like when you start drafting these players from these mid majors, similar to like Jalen Williams when he came out, a lot of these guys played out of position in college, and it makes them very, very interesting fits in the NBA because, like, they might have been 6'4", like in Jalen Williams' case, playing the big sometimes in college, and then going back and playing the 1, and then playing the point forward. Like, and I feel like that's similar for Graves, where it's like at 6'9", he ran a lot of time at that big spot, that 4 or 5 spot for Santa Clara, but he's got a lot of guard skills too. Could see that translating well on a team like OKC. And if the Bulls, I can see the Bulls going for him too. But I still think the pick should be Cameron Carr right here, bro, for the Bulls. Like, that's a match made in heaven.
We shall see.
No way he should have fell this low, honestly.
Oh, Sham's on the screen. I don't know what that could mean.
Oh yeah, you ahead of me.
Oh wait, no, I'm bugging. Yeah, pick is in for the Bulls, though.
Man, not a lot of movement in this draft like I thought it would be. I thought we'd see a lot of movement, bro.
Surprisingly, I think, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like people aren't really trying to get off them picks. I feel like people are really, like, coveted for these positions. They don't want to trade the picks. They really feel like this is a good draft. I do think this is a great draft.
Hey, they went guard. I said they needed to go guard. I was not expecting Dalen Swain. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Dalen Swain was not on my radar right here.
Yeah, me neither. But
this points to what Chicago feels about themselves, man. Like Chicago feels like they're a lot closer than I think the rest of the league feels. So when you draft a guy that's a junior coming out, like you're looking for somebody that's ready to play as soon as you get him, bro. Like, you're not trying to wait for an 18-year-old to develop. And I get it. You know who he kind of reminds me of when I watch Swain? He reminds me of Bull from the Spurs, Vassell.
Vassell actually, Vassell took a little while to let on, but like he played some really good basketball for the Spurs this year. Yeah, particularly in the playoffs.
Swain reminds me a little bit of Vassell, to where like he's maybe not quite as good of a shooter as Vassell is now, but Vassell developed that. But just a guy that can like pretty athletic, can defend, can kind of do it all. He's a very versatile basketball player, bro. And he's a junior, man. He's a junior, right? He's not an 18-year-old freshman, bro. He's ready. The Bulls think they're ready, bro. The Bulls trying to win. They trying to win, bro. I can't be mad. The Bulls might be looking at the East like, man, this shit's sweet.
I mean, the East looking at the Bulls like the same way because, like, I mean, nobody respects the Bulls. Like, like they haven't been good for so long, bro. So, like, maybe they feel like, honestly, there's some truth to that, though. The East you can turn around in the East pretty quickly. I think the Atlanta Hawks are a good example of that. Atlanta Hawks were looking pretty bad last season, and then they turned their shit around. Random CJ McCollum trade, and all of a sudden they got some young emerging players over there, and they're looking at one of the rising teams in the NBA. So your fortunes can turn rather quickly in the NBA. New York, great example.
Mama Swain tied it up, boy.
Detroit's another good example recently. Another team that's been bad and really bad and for a while. And then, now is officially, I would say, here. Now they're trying to get to that next spot. They're interviewing your boy, AJ. I mean, how you feel about AJ Debonta, though, man? I feel like I'm looking at the Wizards' projected starting five, and this is probably a pretty good-looking starting five if things hold the form. Trae Young, George, Debonta, AD, and Alex Sarr. It's pretty formidable. How you feeling as a Wizards fan, man?
Oh, man, I'm ecstatic, bro. I'm ecstatic, bro. I feel like we bringing in the best draft prospect, the best NBA draft prospect in the last, in my opinion, maybe 5 years, bro. Like maybe 5 years. Like I said, I would have him if he was in these last 3 drafts. He would still be number one for me. I think Debonta's potential is unlimited, bro. Now, I think we're going to be walking an interesting balance now, right? Because we got older guys that's trying to win. And how we're able to merge that with the development of AJ Debonta will be interesting. But I do think AJ Debonta's the development process that people are kind of acting like he has to go through they might be overrating that. Like he might not need a whole bunch of development to be a 20-point per game scorer, bro. Like AJ looking like he might be one of them ones, bro. I love the pick.
I mean, all right, so. What's your expectations? I mean, I think numbers is a little overrated. But I'm just curious. You throwing numbers out there. You think he could be a 20-point per game scorer like next season?
I'm not sure that he'll have the runway to be a 20-point per game scorer next season. Now the question: if Sarr's hurt and Sarr starts the season out, maybe, right? Because we might end up going with a smaller ball lineup. Maybe AJ plays some 4. Maybe we start, instead of Sarr starting, it's a combination of Keyshawn George at the 4 with Trey Johnson at the 2. Like, it can go a lot of ways depending on how Sarr's injury progresses. But I think he should be averaging around 16, 17. But you got to remember, you got Trae Young, perennial 25 and 10 guy. You got AD, he's going to average a dub. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where are those 20 points for DeBonta going to fit in? But if he comes in like he that alpha man, you know, he might not give a fuck what everybody else doing. Right? He might be like, look, I'm getting my dub regardless. So I think DeBonta's a hell of a prospect, man. I think he's one of the best prospects. One of the best prospects I've ever scouted, college prospects. And when I would have had, if Peterson translated his high school production to college, I probably would have had Peterson over DeBonta. But man, when I just look at what AJ was able to do in college, bro, the footwork he showed, the competitiveness he showed, like the go-to moves, like the simplification of his game, like, bro, I don't see how he fails in the league, bro. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't see him failing. I just when that number one pick status is big. But yeah, I agree. But he got game. He can be a contributor right out the bat. I don't know. Like I said, I think 16 is realistic. I agree. It's a lot of shots, and if they scoring, if they all getting their buckets, that starting five, I mean, that looks like a good playoff team on paper.
Ooh, Bennett Sturts at 16, boy. Man.
That's another team that's really got a lot of skin in the draft as far as building, rebuilding, because they pretty much gutted their team. So, they must feel good about Bennett Sturts, pairing him with, real Grizzly basketball,
Are they getting rid of Ja Morant? Is that signaling the end of the Ja era?
I don't know. Memphis, for the people of Memphis, I think they're going to be pretty sick if they lose Ja Morant and their new starting point guard is Bennett Sturts. No disrespect, cuz Kahoot, but I feel like they got to keep building. I think, I don't know, the people they've been talking about getting rid of Ja, but I feel like they should hold on to him. Because otherwise, I feel like the fans need something to believe in, bro. Like, you can't just keep gutting everybody. He the face of that franchise. Boozer got a chance though to take him there, but I feel like I love that fit, by the way, for them. I feel like Boozer in Memphis that's just a team that always has a big, traditionally, like one of the best post players, in my opinion, during my time coming up was Zach Randolph, man. Zach Randolph, Zebo, one of the best post scorers, bro, I ever seen. And he played for them Grizzlies, man. A couple others I could think of too. Pau Gasol, right? Grizzlies.
Pau Gasol was on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, came up on the Grizzlies. Lakers poached him. Jaren Jackson Jr. No longer with the Grizzlies, but Grizzlies always got a big. Grizzlies been, Grizzlies, they appreciate a good big. So I like that spot for Boozer. I feel like Boozer gonna be really the franchise player.
Bennett Sturts was traded already.
What?
Okay, so Memphis will draft number 17 now via OKC. So OKC got Bennett Sturts.
Oh, they playing chess.
Memphis traded number 16 pick Bennett Sturts to OKC for 2 second-round picks. So they swapped 16 and 17 and then gained 2 second-rounders.
Damn, that's a hell of a come up. 2 second-rounders to move up 1 pick. That they like Bennett Sturts.
It's interesting, bro. Because what is that saying about what they feel about their team if you're OKC?
I feel like they played depth. They played depth, and they got a lot in their cupboard. You know what I'm saying? A lot in their war chest, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they play it. They build it. They build in a deep squad. So I feel like they looking for a backup point. More of a ball handler. They got Jared McCain, but Jared McCain, he's really good, but not really like a point guard passing, distributor running the offense. Like, he's great when he's running around and catching and shooting and getting a little shots off the dribble. You know what I mean? Bennett Sturts gives you a little bit of a different kind of game in there, but they developing. I feel like they're gonna continue to develop. They're gonna continue to develop, bro. But yeah, I feel like we see most of the good players go off the board. Pretty good draft, I would say. I feel like we might be look back on this draft in a couple years and think, dare I say it, generational.
This draft got some of them ones, man. That's for sure. I'm looking at this interview with Cameron Boozer right now, man. People sleeping on Cam Boozer, bro. It's a damn shame. The list of freshmen that have won the Naismith Player of the Year award, if you just look at the names, I don't know how you can sleep on Boozer, bro. like the names are like Cooper Flagg, Kevin Durant, like Zion Williamson, like
I mean the analytics basketball head they say they love Boozer. Analytics guys would have picked Boozer number 1. You know what I mean? Boozer definitely is really good. You know what I'm saying? So I hated on him. But the thing is, traditionally, there is usually a bust among the top picks. And unless this is the first draft where that's not going to happen, one of those top 4 is going to have to be a bust. Like, unless
last year, it looked like no top 4 from last year was a bust.
Who was the top 4 last year?
Flagg, Harper, Edgecombe, and Con Knipple.
Yeah, you're right.
Ain't looking like no bust from last year, bro.
Nah. You're right about that.
This top 4 better.
Yeah. Hell of it. It's gonna be a hell of a draft, though. We'll see. I feel like I just clicked the button and I just saw the future.
What you mean?
I'm looking at this big board, and I had it on for a second, and it was the 2026 draft, and it was AJ Debounce number 1, and it showed me a whole bunch of picks like 22, 23. The script just leaked and shit, and then I said, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm looking at this shit, and I was looking at Sixers. They had somebody. I got me see who they had us picking. If that shit ended up coming true, that shit crazy. I don't even know. It must have been a glitch. But the script just leaked.
All right, let's see who Memphis ends up getting. I can't believe Carr still hasn't gotten drafted. That's insane to me, bro.
Nah, but good players do slip up and go in the 20s, man. Maxey ain't go to like 20 something. Never forget that. A lot of good players, man. Philly got the number 22 pick, man. I'm hoping we could get somebody decent.
Ooh, great pick, bro. Hey, Memphis about to get rid of Ja. Because Abuka Okori is a dog, bro. This is one of my favorite players in this draft, bro. Straight up, bro. This is one of my favorite players in this draft, straight up, bro. And I didn't think he was going to go this high. I'm happy to see him go this high. Abuka Okori is going to be a dog in the league, bro. Mark my words. Remember I told you about Maxey? I told you about you bro. When it comes to these late first round guards, I know what I'm looking at, bro. Straight up, my man's going to be a dog, bro.
Okay.
Abuka Okori went 17. I'm shocked, bro. I'm shocked. Like, shit, I was seeing him, my man, going to the very end of the first, maybe early second. Hell of a pick. Wow, man. You just never know with this shit, bro.
Okay.
Bruh, Cuz was a dog, bruh. He really reminds me of like Halliburton a little bit, the way he played at Stanford. But yeah, this man right here is a beast, bruh. Crazy range, gets to the cup at will, bruh. Like, can take over games.
Yeah, so good. That's a sneaky pick.
I wonder how he went this much under the radar, honestly, because it felt like during leading up to the draft process, I think I said in the group chat, I thought he was going to be like a top 10 pick. I was talking to my boy, talking to Scrib about it. I thought he was going to be in the top 10 pick, but he's kind of just like floated under the radar. And now it's like this pick is being traded to Detroit.
What?
So this pick was supposed to be Memphis's. Oh, that's a great pick for Detroit, bro. That's a great pairing with Cade Cunningham, bro. Because think about what that boy Dennis was doing with him. Dennis Jenkins, like they needed a second guard. They needed a small guard with Cade, bro. They needed a shifty guard. And Dennis Jenkins filled that role. You know what I'm saying? The guy who battled to get to the league.
Yeah. Nah, that's an interesting move for Detroit for sure. They need some more offensive firepower, so I feel like he one of them dudes. I feel like he could definitely help. They just needed more. But it's interesting. Detroit's got a chance to really to keep building a squad up.
So look, the Grizzlies traded that 17th pick that was Abuka Corey, right? To the Pistons to move back to 21 for 3 second-round picks. Mind you, they just got 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
Okay, so they now have 5 second-round picks for moving down twice, which is crazy work.
The Grizzlies got 5?
They got 5 second-round picks now because they traded twice. They traded out of 16 to 17. Now they traded out of 17 down to 21. And to do this, we go to 16 to 21, accumulated 5 second-round picks. I thought nobody cared about second-round picks. They proven us wrong.
Grizzlies obviously even feel like they could draft in the second round. They feel like they got the lot on the second round picks.
I ain't mad at it, bro, because especially in recent years, there's been some dogs come out the second round. I feel like they need to go ahead and open up a third round for the NBA draft, bro. Like 2 rounds is crazy to me.
They could. I mean, because like there's always good undrafted players, you know, like Justin Edwards for Philly a couple years ago. He ended up being a pretty good player for us. I feel like there's a couple real good undrafted players out there.
Yeah, they need to go ahead and open up a third round. Back in the day, they used to have like 5 or 6 rounds in the NBA draft. 2 rounds never really made much sense to me, but who am I?
Yeah, because it's to the point where like a lot of agents will tell their guys if they lay second round picks or like even like middle second round picks, they'll be like, just don't draft us type shit. Right. They rather sign to their preferred destination, you know. That's one of the good things about the draft only having 2 rounds too.
All right, man. Hey, look, man, we powered through the lottery. A few more picks left in the first round. Any takeaways before we log out?
Some teams building. A lot of teams building out here. I feel like these picks make a lot of sense. You feel me? We in a great time in the NBA, bro. In my opinion, I feel like the league is entering one of the best times. In my opinion, we got 8 straight championships by different teams. It's a parity-driven league. It's got the new collective bargaining system is kind of the way they building these teams. On top of that, you got the new lotto beyond this year. So this the last of the tanks. The tanking era is over. And I think this is one of the most talented drafts I've ever seen on appearance. But we'll see. I mean, we will see right now. This one got a chance though.
Nah, facts, bro. I agree with you 100%. Shout out to the tanking era being over. Although I don't like the way they did it, at least it's done. Yeah, man. It's all. I'll just leave us with this. Like, it's interesting that you know, the first four was like totally locked in for it feels like a while, right? So shout out to the public for getting better at their own evaluations, right? Because it seems like the the GMs agreed with the public. But I'm surprised at how randomized it got towards the middle of the draft, man. I love to see that. I love to see teams taking chances on prospects that people didn't expect to go as high as they did. I'm definitely excited to see how this draft pans out. I think we both agree that this one could be a generational draft class.
Yeah, for sure. But we will see, bro. We will see. Time will tell. But summer league is right around the corner, so we'll be here sooner. We'll be seeing a little bit sooner than later. So summer league about to be jumping off this year.
Nah, facts. I'm looking forward to it, man. So you know how we end each and every show, man. Sports for the culture.